Okay, y'all. First of all, good morning. How y'all doing? There's a lot to unpack on this Friday afternoon, well, morning. Let's get into these Kountry Wayne skits. Angeline, please stop lying to your daughter at this point. You are lying to your daughter, and you're making your daughter believe something that just isn't real. And you need to accept the fact that this man is lying to your daughter. You know he's lying to your daughter. You just heard Amber say that he is giving her flowers. See, if Amber would have said that they were going to counseling to fix their marriage, this would be a whole nother conversation. But see, the one thing that these writers don't do, they don't do these arguments for what they are. Because me personally, the first thing I would have said was, for you to come talk to me, why are you talking to me when my husband is telling me he wants to work out our marriage and we're going to counseling to fix our marriage? You don't believe me? You can call the counselor yourself and find out for yourself, and I'll give you permission to tell you everything that we talked about in the counseling session. This man has came over here multiple times talking about he wants to work out his marriage. Sweetheart, you need to talk to him about that. Matter of fact, if you want to, we both can go over there and go talk to him. That way we can settle this, and this will be the end of it. So that way you can go tell your daughter the truth. Because he can't lie if both of them are there. And that's the problem. The reason why Anthony can lie is because because Amber got so much anger towards Shayla, instead of going over there as a woman and going to try to get some type of understanding. See, this is the thing about it. When you find out about the other woman, you don't want to be emotional when you speak to her. But what you do want is the truth. Because here's the thing. It ain't about the fact of the infidelity. It's the question of who approached who. Did this girl know about you? More than likely, no. If it's your friends or somebody that work with you or a co-worker or whatever the case may be, then that's a completely different story. They know you. But 9 times out of 10, these girls don't know about you. They have no idea that you even existed. And there is no telling what this man has told this girl about you. This situation, yeah, it is different because of the fact that, yes, Shayla did what she did. But if I was Amber, I would be like, let me go find out if he's still with her or not. This is why I would get a private investigator to basically follow him and find out everywhere this man goes. That way, I don't know what I'm dealing with, and then I know how to handle it accordingly. My whole thing for me is when I deal with people, when I talk to a side chick, I'm not talking to them in anger. I'm talking to them as, what has my husband told you about me? And more than likely, they gonna tell it. They gonna be like, well, he told me that y'all weren't together and that y'all were having all these problems. That's all she need to say to me is what he told her. That is when I know, okay, let me go ahead on and get divorced. Let me go ahead on and ruin my marriage. Go ahead on and let my marriage go. Because now that I know where I stand in this, yeah, I'm getting divorced. Because at the end of the day, if I'm somebody that's independent, self-sufficient, and dominant, I ain't gonna lose nothing by ending this marriage. I ain't gonna lose nothing by ending it. So again, I'm not gonna sit up here and be mad because this man did what he did. I'm just gonna start preparing myself to leave at the end of the day. So when he tries to say, oh, I'm sorry, I want my... No, you don't, because what is all of the things you told this female about me? Especially if she records it. If she records your conversations and she bring it back to me talking about you trashing me, and you never told me any of this, never told me we had problems, never told me that anything was going on in our marriage, and you're cheating, but yet you still want to hold on to your marriage. No, you don't want to hold on to your marriage. You want to hold on to your assets. Now, let's go into another equation. Somebody unaliving their wife or their husband for insurance money. Or a man unaliving his wife because the fact that he has to pay her alimony and child support. So, like I said, in this whole situation, in these whole scenarios, people will go out there and cheat, and yet and still, when it comes to the consequences and repercussions of it all, they don't want to. They don't want to deal with that. So, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not surprised by the fact of, Anthony playing this game. He don't want to lose any of his assets. That's what this is about. If he puts that house in Shayla's name, as far as her being a tenant, then Amber's going to know about that apartment and she's going to be able to take it. But instead of him being honest with Shayla and saying, look, the reason I'm doing this is because if Amber finds out about this apartment, she can actually request to have it sold. See, here's the thing. With assets, it ain't about some things, because if y'all can't agree, the judge going to tell you you're going to have to sell it. If they can't agree on that house has to be sold. So that's how that works. So being that he doesn't have a prenup, he can't just say, okay, I'm just going to leave the marriage. No. He's going to try his best to prolong this as long as he can, not understanding, bro, you going to deal with consequences no matter how long you try to play this. In the end. So like I said, you're not dealing with the same woman you did when you first got married. Amber sees straight through this. The problem is, Amber is, like I said, I told y'all from the beginning, Amber is only with Anthony because of the fact it makes her look better. Because her cousin had a valid point. Why couldn't we come to the wedding? Because she thought that she was better than you because she's marrying a man that got money. So yeah, Shayla is right on that aspect. Amber did not marry Anthony because she loved him. She married him because she couldn't have Wayne. She settled. And a lot of y'all don't want to accept that, but that's what she did. She married the second choice. The mistake that Anthony made was he actually did not get a prenup, and that's what went wrong. If he would have got a prenup, it would have been easy for him to basically, get out of this marriage. So that's where he messed up at. And everybody told him that. But he didn't do it. So that's just something that he needs to understand. So that's why he's doing this. And not only that, Shayla is so needy and got all these issues and stuff like that. Like I said, there's a difference between men that are black and African American men. There's a difference between Africans and both. But at the end of the day, if this man does not want to take you on vacation, then take yourself on vacation. I'm with your mom on this one. Get yourself together. Do something for yourself so that way you don't have to worry about if a man decides to walk out. You don't have to worry about it at all. But at the end of the day, I'm not even remotely surprised by this. I'm not. So she's talking about, I have nothing without, Anthony. Girl, regardless whether Anthony is there or not, girl, get yourself together. Do for yourself. Build yourself a business and a brand. Go and work. Because at one time she was working. So now what? You just gave up your job for a man that can leave you at any time and be with another woman? That's the first thing that women need to start thinking. You don't give up nothing, because if he decides to be with another woman, you're screwed. You're left with nothing. And that's the whole point of all of this. Stop giving up stuff. Stop lowering yourself. Stop thinking you can basically make somebody better than they actually are. Start seeing people for what they are and not what you want them to be. No matter how you feel about them, you should always understand that your feelings should be based on who they truly are, and not the money, not the representation, not the car, not the external, but mentally who they are. What decisions, choices, actions, and behavior are going to impact and affect your life. Their past situations, what they went through, their pros and cons, how they weigh it, critical thinking, common sense, and common judgment. But most importantly, morals, values, principles, and ethics. A person that is a believer should never be with anybody that is a non-believer. That's my thoughts.